Hey, hey, hey. It is Sanjay and Rose with. Oh, not Rose. Let me pull Rose back in. Hang on. Let's try this again. Sanjay and Rose with Motivation Station. Welcome, welcome. Rose, can you hear us?
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
I figured you went to go get your AirPods. I forgot to ask you if you.
I did. Can you hear me well?
I hear you fine.
You're very low, but I'll try to listen
Uh,
to you.
it might be from your end because I think my audio level seems okay. But welcome. Hey, how are you? How's your Saturday so far? How's your week been?
Hi. Yeah. Oh, this week was so life transformational
Mm,
because
do
right
tell.
now I am really working with my mom.
Mhm.
Oh, we already spoke about this before, and
Yeah.
I slapped myself a couple of times in the face, and I said, you cannot doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself. And I said, she's going through war, I'm going through war, and we're going to win this war and these battles.
Mm,
So, and everything that I prayed, it was working. People were appearing from anywhere with hope, which is amazing. As well as I said, I am coach. I finished one of the biggest schools in New York. I have 20 years of motivation experience. I have so many psychotherapy courses that I've taken, and I know so much. I said, you know what? I'm going to heal my mother myself because everyone else is putting X, while I said no one is allowed to even think about it. Put an X. I'm going to put a bold plus because I can. And I am so determined and motivated to do that. I already translated her medical records. I broke it down everything to emotions. I'm going to use Chinese medicine. I'm going to use Ayurveda. I'm going to use Western medicine. I'm going to use everything I can. And we're going to win this fight. And you guys going to see us together. It's
well,
happening soon.
that's what I like
Because
to hear.
the way
It's
you
it's
think, the way your reality will be.
no,
Amen.
absolutely. I know it's always an uphill battle. And I know you've been, working hard and doing your best for it. And like I said, if there's any way I can help, please, let me know. I know we talked about it
Prayers.
briefly. Yeah, of course. And we talked about it briefly yesterday. But I was at like work and stuff. But if we need to talk more on the side, definitely so. And I'm sure our viewers and guests and anybody else watching us also wish you the best and your mother the best. Um,
Thank you.
so yeah, no, go, fight the good fight. It's worth it, and I know your mother will come up top.
Yes. This is the fight and we're gonna win. We're
Mm,
gonna win the fight,
mm,
you know,
yeah,
because we are capable. We are capable of doing so. And I'm glad that every single thing that I've read in my life, every book, every course, every quote, everything right now is making me who I am. And I said, if you don't change nothing, nothing will change.
hmm,
So let's start living a different life, the life we want to be able to heal ourselves. And if I
absolutely.
can, I will, you
Hmm.
know. And I'm glad that I can say that boldly out loudly. Let me be the first one. Let nobody believe, but I will.
Hmm.
Let my light and my belief and my faith in the higher divine make this happen. And that's what we're going to work on. And this is amazing what I did yesterday, just sitting down for 8 hours, just breaking everything down, translating, breaking everything down to the emotions of finding out each organ, what emotion, what it does, and why it's happening. And to be able to put that all together because I was asking for guidance and I was praying hard, and my prayers always, your prayers are always being heard. It's just you ask, believe, receive. That's my week. And right now I'm so determined. I don't cry anymore. I'm very little,
Hey,
slept myself a few times. There's no doubt. Today I'm wearing sunny glasses because I believe even if it's gloomy outside, you bring your own weather everywhere you go. And
Yeah.
that light, that faith, that's strong, that's 100% being like standing on the ground and just moving forward day by day, doing the little changes, eating more broccoli, you know, that's all we can do.
No, I agree. And like, yeah, I mean, some days you got to be your own sunshine, right? It could be gloomy out, could be snowy out, cold out. You got to be your own warmth, your own happiness, your own love, of course. And I know you do that well. And I agree with you. Prayers are always heard. They might not show the answer the way you expect it to show the answer in your prayers. So, like, you might not get a direct answer, but there's always like a hint of your guidance, your path. Um, and like I said, it's not always straightforward. Sometimes, it's like when you ask for, you know, uh, like you ask God for patience, right? He doesn't give you patience. He gives you opportunities to be patient, so then you can learn. If you say, God, give me strength, He doesn't give you strength. He gives you opportunities to grow stronger. You know, so I think that's very important about um, prayer and faith in that sense.
Highly believe in that. It's a
Yeah,
power. And power of prayer is very powerful.
I think our
You
our
ask and you'll be given.
I think our podcast from last week with my brother-in-law about the conversations have seeped over into the week itself here. But no, I mean, it sounds like you've had some like a busy weekend, but a busy week, sorry, I should say. But like you came up top, and you got through most of it there. Yeah, my week was roughly about the same. Like it's been obviously bitter cold. I don't know what it's like in Georgia. I'm sure it's cold down there too, but it's been like crappy cold up here. And actually, just yesterday, unfortunately, one of my brother's cats passed away. And
Oh,
yeah, like my brother
mhm.
has a very strong bond with his cats. And like in the morning, like past few days, she didn't look too good, and I was like, hey man, like maybe you should take her to the vet, and maybe she needs medicine of some sort. But like when he had taken her there, she was actually beyond most care. So they tried to offer something, but like she was just fighting to like kind of stay awake, stay alive at that point. And it was sad because I feel bad because my brother she died in my brother's arms. And like we
Oh,
had like she had a brother, yeah, brother, and same thing happened to him like years ago. And I just felt bad because it's like like, yeah, of course I don't have this same bond with this cat. And so even some people out there, people are like, that's just cats, whatever, it's a cat. But people don't come to learn that some people grow like really special bonds with animals, and it hurts. And instead of me saying, oh, it's just a cat, because like I have my own cat too, but like I felt bad for him. And we we did like the Indian traditional burial and stuff like that. But it was I think he like I think the beautiful part was that, just like Jongdae said, like I was just there for him. I didn't really have too many words to say per se, but like I kind of sat with him and kept him company. And then I had my cousins come over too, and they kept them company. And we all just kind of sat around, and then we started talking about like the good times. We started talking about like funny stories and stuff like that. And my brother went from like, I don't know if I could sleep tonight. I don't know if I could sleep tonight, to like, that dude knocked out. Like he was in such a comfortable space after that, that me and my cousins kept talking. And then when I heard him snoring, I was like, all right, I think it's time to go. So like we all kind of cleaned up. I said, go back to my cousins and stuff, and then they left. And then
yes.
I just left my brother. But like he was in a much better position after that. And um, you know rest in peace. The cat's name was oh my god, oh my god.
Better place. He
Yeah, yeah,
transferred to the
the
better
cat, yeah,
place. He's at peace
cat's in a
right
better
now.
place. Yeah, she's with her brother now, Pumpkin. Jeez, I don't know why the name left me, but she's with her brother Prince, and they're living the good
That's amazing
cat
that you
life.
created that energy,
Yeah.
or you created that bond for your. And talking about energy, like I was working when pandemic came, when I just received my work permit and nobody could work, and I'm like, I need to work. I just got a work permit, right? I officially can work now. So the only thing that's around me is the bar that I worked at, yes, and
Mm.
Walmart. I said, you know what? Let me do whatever I can, right?
Of course.
So I started working in Walmart. It was like 5 in the morning till two job, and after two, I would go work in the bar. So it's
Yep.
two jobs. And for me, Walmart was like I understood there's two people in Walmart. There's two people that the people that actually live in the world of Walmart and they don't know nothing else besides Walmart. And
Mm,
there's people that Walmart for them is just a side check,
mm,
you know. For me, it was a side check. It was
mm.
not something that I'm gonna be there forever. This is my
Yeah.
world. So by speaking about it, I was doing OGP, which is picking internet,
Orders and
picking
stuff.
orders for
Yeah.
people. So while I was picking, and there was this um, guy, boy, I want to call it. And he was always so welcoming. It was so welcoming, and the energy was different. They're talking about energy, right? Either you
Mm,
have a fighting energy or you have a giving up energy. Where are you, right? Two sides of the world. Is it a side check or is it like your world? And I don't blame anybody. You choose. I chose different path. This is my choice. You know and while I was seeing um, his name is John, and I was like, he always say hello, always so welcoming, energy. It was
mm,
always energy. He was always, and I knew for him, it was also a side check, maybe the world and a side check as well, because he was always studying. I'm like, what is you studying? He's like mathematics, always studying and studying, and I'm like, whoa, he's gonna do great.
mm.
And then he told me a little bit story of his mom. I said, "Wow, your mom's so amazing, so much." It's about how we think. In the end of the day, our thoughts are really matter. It's like the energy matter, how we think, right? We can
Right.
sit and cry here, or we say, "Hey, slap myself in the face. Hey, listen, are you gonna actually do something about it? Or are you gonna
Yeah.
sit and cry?" You
Yeah.
know. And then seeing him we still stay connected. I only worked for 8 months, luckily. So I still stay connected with him, and boom, he's opening a YouTube channel, a beautiful channel for kids. I was like, damn, this is so amazing. This is cool. I started watching him, and boom, here we are opening our own channel. I said, we need him as a guest.
Mm,
We need his story. I want him to tell his story. I want to bring that positive energy that he always have,
right.
because vocabulary is very important.
Yeah.
What you say is very important. Every word has two vibrations, low and high. So
Mm,
which word are you choosing? It's very important what words we're choosing to tell ourselves
I agree.
and to tell others.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like, I agree with you. When it comes to, like, places like Walmart and stuff like that. Like, for some people, it's a stepping stone. Some people, yeah, it's their livelihood, right? And I agree that you can also choose what you want to do, and you live with that choice. Um, and it's funny because, like, all that kind of leads to, I very briefly got to talk to John a little bit, and I'm very interested in his story because, like, I actually read a quote yesterday, and I think it holds true to, like, what we're about to talk about going forward, and even our future, to our podcast, and, like, stuff that you want to do in the future and stuff that I want to do in the future. But the quote said that ambition without action is anxiety, you know and it's true. And I was like, you know what, I have all this ambition. We want to be like, crazy successful with our podcast. We want to you want to start, like, your own thing. I want to start doing some videos and shows I want to do on my own, like acting and stuff. But all I do is, like, talk about it. All I do is think about it. I barely put it on paper. And I think because I'm taking longer and longer to do it, I'm getting more anxious about it. So I was like, damn, this is too true for me. But it'd be nice to have it'd be nice to have someone, like, hear their story about it, and get that motivation, about how they went. And yeah, I mean, like, the very brief I talked to him, I'm like, this can be very interesting, because, like, I feel the energy that you're already speaking of. I already feel the way, like, what you say about him is actually very true. And I've only talked to him for, like, 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't really talked to him too long. But I look forward to meeting him, and I'm sure our guests do. So we'll bring him on in. So John, welcome to our show. There you go. How are you?
I'm doing well, Sandy. How are you today?
I am doing well. Welcome to Motivation Station.
Welcome. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
super excited.
so John, yeah, we'd love to, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, my name is John, and what I like to do is I like to go. I'm a YouTuber who likes to make YouTube videos. I have my own. I have two YouTube channels. I have Jon Kim Vlogs, where I record myself. I like to primarily me eating video, doing food reviews, also doing mathematics. I like to travel, and I also have my Blues Clues drawing video where I draw my own clues in my notebook. I record myself and I draw various clues, different clues in my notebook. And it's something I enjoy. And speaking of mathematics, I also recently earned my master's degree in applied mathematics from the University of Washington. I did it
Wow.
fully remote online. It was tough, but I managed to get through it. And
Like,
in addition, I enjoy going to bars, meeting girls, hanging
now,
out with them.
hey, listen,
That's
there's
what I
nothing
like.
wrong there. That's all game, man. That you got to do what you got to do. But that's awesome. I mean, because I know Rose told me. I mean, so I checked out his YouTube channel. I actually just added it to our description. I think if you refresh, it should show up. But yeah, I mean, I when Rose told me about you, like I was like, all right, let me just lightly look at it. And I looked at your channel. I watched some of your drawing videos, which I was like, yo, this is awesome. Like you literally draw it like Steve does in the show. Um, and it was very enjoyable. And I'm looking at it, and Rose is like very awed by your success as well, because she's like, oh, he has so many like subscribers and views. And I'm looking at it, and I see 10.7K subscribers with 2.2K videos. Like that's actually fantastic, and I know that level of success comes from hard work, and like the crazy part to me is that not only did you do hard work for these videos, like making these videos, taking the time to edit, upload, whatever, it's like all the little things add up, but like the time there. But then on top of that, you also continued your school, you continued your education in one way or another form. You like to go out, like you said, you like to whatever, meet girls and stuff. Hey,
Passion for
uh,
life.
exactly, passion for life. So it's like it's fun, but you still find the time to do this, and I can see how successful you could be. But like just from like your go-getter attitude that I just kind of feel just from talking to you here, like I see that it wasn't an easy trip, but it was well worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. When I like to keep my audience engaged. This is something I like to do, and I'll show you how I first got started. When I first started, I was wondering what it's like to be recorded. I was wondering if it's ever what it's like to be on camera and to record myself. So I thought I was a bit timid and shy doing my first video, but I did a 1 minute introduction video three years ago, back in 2021, showing who I am, what I do, and this actually, hey, when I'm posting my own video on YouTube, I was actually quite impressed. So then I started to upload more videos of me. I was thinking about, maybe I like food. So I did my first Applebee's Kids Grilled Chicken Alfredo, and that got almost 5,000 views. And I was quite impressed. So I started, maybe I can start my career and journey doing YouTube. And then I also started my Blues Clues channel. Well, it's been 2 year mark, December 2022.
Oh, nice,
And
congrats.
what I like, and if you didn't know, I'm a huge fan of Blues Clues. Ever since I was a kid, whenever I saw Steve finding a clue and drawing in the notebook, that always got me in shock and engaged. And I always thought, I was thinking about it to myself, even when I was young, could I ever? Is it possible for me to ever draw my own clues video, do a recreation? And I thought to myself, yes, it is. So I decided to maybe start my own Blues Clues channel and draw my own clues and to put them in the handy dandy notebook. And if you didn't know, I recently got a new handy dandy wooden replica notebook. It's made of wood from when Steve draws it. It's
Oh,
not a
nice.
handcrafted notebook. So that's the best part. You can hear that wooden sound, and feel free to check it out on my YouTube channel as well. I made a unboxing Blues Clues handy dandy notebook, and this is something I enjoy moments in my life.
I like that's just, man, I don't even know what to say, because first of all, that's amazing, and my I think the part I appreciate the most is that like you were just like, yo, what if I just do this, right? There was no like moment of like hesitation, no moment of like, what if it doesn't work? What if like what if I can't do it? It was just like, nah, I kind of want to try this. Boom, you're trying it, and here you are, And you're like, hey, I want to try this. Boom, here you are. And I'm sure like maybe in the very very back of your mind, you're just like, I'm not sure how good this will be, but you're like, nah, I want to do this. It sounds fun, and like that attitude, that mentality is what strives forward before anything can even
Yeah.
like deter you. Like, nah, this isn't for me. But that dude, that's amazing. Yeah, I definitely have to watch more videos. I watched like a few of the drawing ones. And I'm looking at your channel now, and there's a lot more videos to just
It's
check out in general.
I
But
like your easygoing attitude.
yes.
Like, let me do like easygoing, passionate for life. Don't think about any guilt, sorrow. Nothing is holding you back. Just woo, enjoy, travel, food, all that. Girls, come on. Like, this is so amazing. That really gives me that like, come on, Rose. Let's change up here. Let's get lighter.
Yeah, no,
Let's
I
get
think
passionate again about
I can
life.
I can say I think your mentality, who you are, like when Rose met you to like where you are now, I think a lot of the motivation behind Motivation Station does stem from you on her end, because she saw how like you were just like, hey, I want to do this, I want to go get it, right? And I think for Rose and I, it just kind of fell into that like into that place, because I was at a place where I was like, I don't know what I want to do anymore, and I actually want to get into like doing video logs too. I haven't really done anything because it's been bitterly cold, and I just like started like a new job last month and stuff, so I'm still like adjusting to stuff. But like Rose just hit me up and she's like, yo, let's do it like let's do like a podcast, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, let's just do it, right? Like we thought about it. Like and Rose can probably attune to this too, but like I thought about it more logically, right? I was just like, oh, we got to do this, like this way, that way. Rose like, ah, well, we'll be successful. We'll have all these subscribers, videos, stuff like that. And like I was like, I'm not there yet, right? But like over time, right? She came down to be a little bit more logical and reasonable about it, and I became more like dreamful about it. I'm like, yo, right, let's put these things out there. So we started meeting at these different levels. But if we never even had the discussion, we wouldn't even be here for any of this. But like I remember even then, because she has talked about you before, even before our idea of putting you on our podcast. She has mentioned, she's like, she knows someone who's on YouTube that has I think she said at the time like over 1,000 subscribers, right? And I was like, that's cool. And like in my head, I was just like, I want to also be like learn how to be successful in YouTube and stuff like that. But like for me, it was more like I want to at least start with what we have and go from there. And like now we're at a point that now we have like you here, we could talk about it more. And yeah, if you want to share ideas, that'd be fantastic. But like for me, it was always the toughest part was the actual motivation to do it, right? And the consistency. That part was the killer for me. So I was doing a video log for a little while for like, well, first I'm sure you know what Twitch is. I was doing gaming, right? So I would like stream on Twitch every night. And I was trying to do it like every night, but then like I couldn't do it every night. So then I lost, doing it every night. And then after a while, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, because like not that I wasn't seeing success. It's just like I couldn't keep up with the consistency of it. But then also I wasn't really that happy about it. Like streaming is fun for gaming, but I was like, it's whatever. And then I started like a car video log, right, where I would just like drive around town and just like record people driving, and I would talk to the camera. But I couldn't keep that consistent either, because there was times where like I didn't drive all the time, so then it's like, yeah, I can't make videos all the time if there's no driving content. But then when it came to the podcast, I was like, Rose was like, look, we'll just dedicate a day to do the podcast. We'll dedicate a day to test stuff with our guests. And this is our 13th episode now, and like every week we've been able to do this successfully. And although we're still small and on the rise, um like I think we're doing great. 13 episodes. We have 26 subscribers. We have the 13 videos up, and I think we have more than 500 views now. I think we have like closer to 700 now.
700, over
So
700.
I'm like, it's not bad. And like, in the past, I'm not gonna lie, I think I did let it bother me that when I didn't see the success I wanted right away. and it was hard to keep that motivation. But like after like week after week after doing these podcasts, even from like hearing your story, and as brief as it was, like we've only been talking for 10 minutes, man. I'm just like, yo, this is insane that, someone was just like, I'm gonna do this and just did it. Like such a simple like I want to say not thought but like mentality in a sense that just like, you know what, like I love Blues Clues, right? I love Blues Clues and I want to draw. Let's just do it. Like there was literally nothing stopping you, nothing. All right. And like I think the biggest blockage for any of us to achieve anything that we sometimes try to achieve for is our own mind. Our mind is our own prison. And but you, man, your mind is not a prison at all. You are just like, you're a free spirit. You're out there, you're flying. It's beautiful. And for you to just be like, yo, I want to do this, boom, and you did it. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, have you ever hit a point that you did try something and it didn't work out?
Absolutely. In my
Mm,
entire life, not just in YouTube, but in
mm.
other things I tried.
So then, like, what do you do? Like, you were just like, you just took it as
How you
acceptance
stay
and you're like, move on.
motivated.
Yeah, yeah. How do you stay motivated?
Yeah, every time everyone encounters failure, they try something but they fail, but they keep moving on. You know,
Mm.
they try other things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what it took me. I was like, you know what? Like, if I at least try something, and I did with my gaming and my cars. I was like, I did it. It was good. It was bad. I was into it, and then I moved on to the next thing. And even now, like, I'm actually kind of happy and proud that, like, I was telling one of my close friends about our podcast, right? And he was like, oh, and he's like, oh, what do you do it on? I'm like, oh, right now we're just doing it on YouTube. He's like, oh, have you thought about doing it on other like platforms? And I was like, kind of, but I not that I mastered YouTube, but YouTube for me in my mindset was like easy because it's like, if I send it to my friends or even our viewers that we have now, like it's easy for them to click the link, go to YouTube and watch it, right? And he's like, yeah, well, it's also easy for like people to just listen to your podcast, not watch it, but just listen, right? And he's like, on YouTube, it's a little bit tricky because if you use like YouTube on your phone, unless you have like premium or something, then you can minimize YouTube, still listen to the podcast, and do whatever you want, right? Whereas stuff like Spotify, you can just leave Spotify running in your background and do whatever you want. Or like if you're driving, you can just listen to Spotify and stuff like that. So like, let me explore that. So recently, I started. I uploaded all our episodes to Spotify, and even this episode, I haven't. I mean, I think there might be a way to go live on Spotify. I haven't figured that out yet, but I don't mind because like right now, what I do is I finish the episode here, download the recording, and then upload it to Spotify. So it does record. Sorry, it does upload as a video, but you can just listen to it as an audio. And actually, before we started this podcast, where it was like when John and I were testing it, I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like I came home from work yesterday, and I was driving to like the bar to meet up with a friend for a drink. And as I was driving, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play our podcast. So I was like I was listening to our last episode as I was driving, and I was like, yo, this is pretty cool. Like I could get used to this. So I sent my link to like my friends and stuff like that, and it's nice to have like I guess like multiple avenues there for growth. But I try to point it all back at YouTube and just be like, this is kind of home base. Um, but it's it was nice to be able to see it that way. And just like me listening to my own podcast again, it was like I felt motivated again. So now instead of like for me, it was like always listening to music or playing video games to get motivated. Now I can just listen to my own podcast and get that motivation from there.
It's a station for motivation, John.
Yes, you need that motivation. It's all about consistency, not just in YouTube, but when you post videos, it's for me, it's about consistency. And I learned this also when I was trying to lose weight. You can't just expect to lose 40 pounds in one day. It takes a slow, consistent amount every time. Same with YouTube. You need consistency with uploading. You also need to get engaged with your audience. Also, you should create a good thumbnail, reach out to people. That's all you need.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're like I said, we're a very growing podcast. We went from, I think we used like Canva to make like an imitation, like logo for our team, and then I actually got a logo made for us for our motivation station. I'm still working on more designs, even our like I'm sure you'll see the video as well after we end the podcast. You'll see like the format of how our video is made and like I kind of want to make it look a little bit nicer. Like right now, it does like it went from like a simple like cream colored background with like simple words to like now it's a little bit more green the letters are a little bit more vibrant, but now I want to add more like maybe design to it, more like whatever to it. um but like Rose said, like what we would do, we try to do our improvements like 1% at a time, and I think we have been pretty successful about that, and like growing as not just I labeled this episode rising stars, but we're not just growing as rising stars, but we're also growing as people. Like I see the motivation in Rose, I see the motivation in me. I mean, I see motivation in you too from this, and I can see how passionate you are about what you do, and we all of us, we thank you for that. And we think you do like such an amazing job, and you bring this nature, this state of energy, right? Not to just our podcast, but even watching your videos, like I see no like what's the word I'm looking for? I
No
don't see any
pressure. I don't
yeah, no
see no
pressure. I don't see
pressure.
any
Just
like
everything's so light,
you're
easygoing,
you're literally just doing what you love to
just
do.
flowing.
You know?
I like your flow.
So like one, I think for us, Motivation Station works out very well, right? Because like if you watch our earlier videos, even our introduction, we're still like getting our foundation, like getting our bearings. But now we're at a point that like we all can just talk, and we could just talk, and like this is what my motivation was to do this kind of like level of podcast, was that like we bring you in and we just talk, and like for our podcast we do plan to have like people who like yourself, like I'm gonna say like you're a very successful like YouTuber, vlogger, and like you bring great motivation to people as well as us, right? But then we also love to have like I'm hoping to have podcasts with people who are on the opposite end of that, people who don't know how to maybe be like extroverted, or they want to talk to people but they don't know how. I want to open those avenues on our end too, and I think that level of motivation is what keeps me going for this podcast, because it's like yeah, we can have people who bring us motivation, but we also want to give that motivation back to people. And I think in the 13 episodes we've had, we've succeeded pretty well. There has been people who've given us very positive feedback. uh there's been people who have given critical criticism, like stuff that we need to hear, what we can do better and whatnot. We've also given constructive criticism to each other, like Rose and I, like um and it's very helpful. Do you like I mean do you do most of like your podcast, I mean your videos and stuff like that, like I'm sure you shoot it like from like with a stand or with a camera and stuff like that, but do you do all the editing, all the uploading, all that stuff like yourself? Do you get help, or how do you
Oh
do it?
yeah, I do it all myself. And speaking
Yeah.
of the camera, I have my own Sony ZV-1 camera. It's a
Mhm.
vlogging camera, and it captures in 4K. You can also in 1080p, 60 frames per minute. You can adjust the resolution, but I prefer honestly to go in 4K because that's the highest quality. And all speaking of the what I use Wondershare Filmora to edit my videos. It's a pay. You got to pay though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
just one time pay. Yeah.
I what did I mean, I
Okay,
think I
we need
use.
that.
Yeah, I mean, well, see, because like once we hit a point, because I agree with John, because John talked about this before too, that we need to make like shorts, right? And shorts that aren't like they're critical to the point that they explain what's going on, or what basically it's like if somebody watches a short of our video, they'll
Intro.
they'll want to watch the rest of the video, come back and watch that, and I know like you're trying to grow your channel too, and you want to make shorts for like, yeah, like I think I want to do like an introductory video as well. I'm actually thinking about upgrading my camera, because like right now I have a simple 720p like Logitech camera from like work, but I started looking at like 2K or 4K cameras, and I think right now I have it set up so it's, yeah, I think it's just 30 FPS on 1080p now. But I definitely want a little bit more like the 60 FPS, so it looks a little bit smoother and stuff like that. I mean, even though Rose is using like her phone as a camera, like the quality is really good. At the very beginning of our podcast, we were having issues with audio, because she was just using the speaker, and I just come to learn after some research that the speaker for the iPhone is just not great. So she switched over to earbuds, and like since then, our audios have been capturing better, been doing better. I gotta make my audio a little bit more crisper. But like I just gotta kind of play with my mic settings and stuff like that. But I agree. Like there's a level of professionalism, like you want to look like, even Rose was saying like she wants to look and sound great and stuff like that. And I think with each step we are getting better. You know, um, And now like we get ideas from someone like yourself. Like I think we're gonna be in touch a lot more often, so we can bounce ideas, and stuff like that off of you. Um, but it's
And I'm
honestly, man,
sure you
it's
could
great
take a
for you.
look at your first video and the last video. It's two different videos, right?
Well, like the beauty of it, I think, on top of all that, because Rose, like, when we first started our podcast and we had some episodes, right? And shout out to Frank who's here today, and Morgan. Thank you guys for joining. Like, for a while we had like, Frank's video was like, highest with the views, right? And not that it's not still the highest. I think it is still the highest. But then I noticed like people would start to watch some videos and then go back to watch the intro. So our intro videos are up there again. Like our intro videos are on a high view because people will watch episode 12, 11, 13, whatever, and then just be like, oh, this is interesting. And then go back to the intro and be like, what is this about? And then like get a better idea of what the intro is. Now, like, again, definitely, Rose, we can talk on the side, but I think each of us should do like an intro video for our channel. I'll do one, you do one, and we could either mash it together or upload it separately and just have like little things like that. And then I think what I'm gonna do is start making shorts from our videos so then people can see what the episodes are about, and then they can go back and watch the episode.
I do
I
love
think
that
that,
idea.
yeah, I think that's a good. What do you think, John? You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, absolutely. And also with the thumbnails, I want to bring up is also try to put yourself inside the thumbnail pick. Crop you, Rose, also me, and try to be creative. Use a lot of arts, glowing style. You can
Yeah,
all use all that on Canva.
yeah. No, as I say,
Okay.
I'm looking at your channel now. I still have it open because I was copying the link, and I know from like your videos, like you have like the text of the context, like, hey, this, like, for one example, okay. And I gotta ask how this is anyway. So you did the Dunkin' Donuts whoopie pie donut video, right? And it's like on you, it's you holding up the Dunkin' Donuts bag with a donut. There's Dunkin' written on the top. It says whoopie pie donut. Like, boom, simple, exactly. Like you see his expression, you see what the
Yes.
video is about, and that's the
Oh
thumbnail.
my God.
You know, and I'm like,
Yes.
that's pretty good. So before I continue, follow up question:
Wow.
How was that? How was that donut though? Because people did all, like, ask me about it, but like I'm trying to be wary about the sugar I eat. But was it good?
It was really good.
Oh
I've
yeah.
been trying to watch what I eat. I've been not trying to post consistently with junk food. It's unhealthy. Obviously, I know. I try to like post once every week as a treat. But
Yeah.
overall, it was really delicious. The whoopie pie it's still available if you want to go out and
Yeah.
try it. It's basically a chocolate donut with the whipped cream inside, and had a pretty good taste. The whipped cream was really delicious. I'm just saying what I just said in my video, but it was really delicious, and I gave a rating too as well, and recommend you guys to try it.
Yeah, I will. Because like normally I just
I love everything about your videos, like the way you look, the way you act, the way you like it's everything structurally algorithm. I like your algorithm of everything structurally made. You know what I mean? I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you also like my intro too? I every before I start my video, I always do like a little, like how in writing you do like a attention grabber. I try to like add something in before I start.
mm, mm.
I like the
Okay,
introduction. I put
attention
on.
grabber.
I don't know. I actually enjoy my introduction, like the music I chose.
Yeah.
I was
No, I
making
mean,
sure it's not copyright.
yeah, no, yeah, we did
Okay.
that. So I mean, like the music, I have music playing in the background that obviously we can't hear here, but like our audience can hear. So I play a list off Spotify that's copyright free, and it's just like lo-fi, like hip hop, R&B kind of vibes, and like basically our idea for the motivation station was just like a coffee talk. It's as if me, you, and Rose met up for coffee, and we're just talking to you about you and about like what you do and stuff like that. And I think from our intro video to like where we're at now, I think people kind of get that idea. And there's a lot of people who give like positive feedback for all this. But it's like the little things, like Rose said, 1% of the time. Even you're saying like even if we change our thumbnails, right? Which Rose, like, I can do now. Like I can kind of do that like after we finish our podcast, like set up our thing and show it a little bit better and whatnot. And it's all the little things that add up, right, John? Like it's like you take these small steps, and then before you know it, like you have this whole foundation built. You have all these videos. You have a section that's vlogs, a section that's shorts, a section that's like whatever episodes you have accordingly. And I think all that kind of just points back to like, nothing is really different from one another. It's just it may be different things, but it's all about like you and like how you are about Blue's Clues and how you are about like, how was this food, stuff like that. It's very interesting. And it's very motivating, to be honest. And I do feel like that level, like when we first were uploading videos and stuff like that, I just kept it simple. I just put like a simple thumbnail and like just called it. Even if you look at our channel now, it just says motivation station, nothing special about it. But like I think I am gonna go back and edit the channels accordingly. But it like
Everything is special about
like
it.
I want to like build on it at least, like I don't know if it's gonna go 0 to 100. Like you said, it takes time, right? And I'm just gonna work on it and do like that. But like when it comes to, I think our like live version of the channel, like when we're doing our podcast here and stuff like that, like Rose upgraded because she's like, I want people seeing my background, so she got a background there. Me, I'm gonna work on getting like a green screen, so then like I have a better background than just a blurred out messy room. But and like I think, yeah, like my camera is only 720p, so I look okay, but like I definitely can look crisper and stuff like that, so I definitely want to get like a better camera. But there's a
Yeah,
level of, I agree, there's a level of like things that have to look, not have to,
upgrade.
things should look good, right? Things should look great. But I definitely was I was always a fan of like the foundation of the idea. I was always with like, like, because like I remember for a while Rose and I were talking about like the name Motivation Station, and we really wanted to make it our own. And I said, beyond anything, Rose, like Motivation Station is us, but like we are Motivation Station, right? And I was like it's us that represent the name, right? So God forbid someone takes our name, but like, it's about who we are and what we bring as motivation. So we could be called Motivation Cafe for all we wanted to, whatever. But it's all about what me and well, Rose and I do and why we do it and stuff like that is the important factor. And like for you, I know like your channel, even watching your videos, you do it just because of the love that you have for the stuff that you do. Like I can see you're very highly
Yeah,
motivated about Blue's Clues, and I watch your videos. It was exciting. I thought I was watching the show, and I was like, ah. And like I'll be honest, man, with the way you did the thumbnails and stuff like that, I was like, this guy's on Blue's Clues, and I started watching it. But like you're basically at that point, you're basically your own like Steve, except you're John, and John's even cooler. And you do these drawings, you do the voice acting, you do like the background noise. You have, I think I even saw like Blue, and I was like, yo, this is awesome. And it was all just driven for the fact that you have a passion to do it. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Not just in myself, but I also like to do, it will also be good for acting too. I try to, try to get engaged, also use a variety in my voice. It definitely helped me, my overall public speaking skills.
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
How long it
Definitely.
took you,
Yeah.
John, to get first 1,000 subscribers?
Oh,
Like,
how long? Wait, you said how long?
yeah, how long did it take?
That's good. It took me less than a year.
Okay.
But I tried posting consistently, trying to improve myself. When I first started, I was a bit timid. I was talking a bit slower, but then I used a variety of tones, use different words in what I say in my videos to get engaged, and that's how I was able to accumulate more subscribers over the periods.
Okay. Also, you said a lot of people start recognizing you outside.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, I got
What?
recognized in public too by
That is
12
awesome.
people.
What? That's
That's
awesome.
amazing. That
Yes,
is
Yeah.
definitely check mark.
pe- people wanted a selfie. Like I saw people from Rutgers, also Somerset, where I go to the gym too. They watch my
Hmm.
videos and say, "Oh, there's that guy, John. I watch your videos. Your Blues Clues and your food reviews, and also your mathematics videos." And they like say,
That
"Do
is
you want a picture?" And
amazing.
say, "Yeah, go ahead." So they just come up and they just want a picture with me. I got about
Wow.
4 girls and 8 boys, like 2 adults, 2 men adults that wanted, and a woman.
That's amazing. I
Awesome.
am definitely wishing you a creators award. Not the
Yeah.
silver one, the gold one.
I want to get to
That's
100, Michael. Yeah. My goal is to
yes,
get to 100,000
I was just gonna ask. I was
yes, to
like, yeah.
get the
So
first
go for it.
first button, right? Silver button.
silver button. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
listen, there's nothing but success written in your future, my friend. You have grown
Oh,
substantially from where you started till now, and I know there's nothing but greatness in your future, and I look forward to it. And I know I'm sure everybody else does, and Rose does, and I mean I definitely want to catch you a little bit more, maybe talk about more about video ideas, video editing, shooting videos and stuff like that. You're in Jersey too, right?
I am in Jersey, yes.
Everybody's in Jersey, Rose, and I'm just sitting here not visiting anybody. What am I doing with
And
my
here
life?
I am in Georgia.
Yeah,
Wait,
you're
Rose, you're in
somewhere
where?
far.
Where are you again? You're in.
I'm in the
She,
state Georgia. I'm in the
Oh,
mountains right
yeah,
now,
she's in
Blue
Georgia. Yeah,
Ridge,
she comes to visit once in a
Georgia.
while, but you know,
But
but yeah, no,
luckily we have internet and we can talk anyone around the world.
which is a beautiful thing because like yeah, like I think we talked about it before we started the podcast as well that we aim to have whoever wants to join wherever they are, and Rose has a few people who are in Europe or international or overseas that want to come talk about their journey, their path and stuff like that, and we look forward to it. And like as much as we're a, like I said, a small podcast, it's kind of like your videos as well. Like when you started your first few videos, maybe you didn't get a lot of views, but now you're at a point that you're getting a lot, and people are going back to watch the original videos and like, oh, what's this about? What's that about? And that's how like things grow. But like, I'm very proud of the work you've done, man. Like I'm I'm kind of like blown away at the fact that you're very driven, and I thought I was driven at points, right? But like, not only are you driven, you're an action taker. And like the quote I said earlier, and I'm sure you heard me say it, was like ambition without action is like anxiety, right? And I definitely did not take action on a lot of stuff I want to do, but uh I'm getting more and more motivated, honestly. Like I before I started the podcast, I was in a very dark place. I was very down. But 13 episodes later, I think it's a night and day difference for me. And I know there's nothing on the rise for our
For
for my
all of
end
us.
of it, at least for all of us. Yeah, yeah, for sure. But like and I think I almost say it on every episode, but like I do these podcasts and we talk about you guys. We talk about you guys, like you, our guests, our viewers and stuff like that. And at the end of it, man, I walk away with the most motivation. Like I walk away with like, man, this was fantastic. Like I'm gonna go do something now.
are you feeling motivated, Sanjay, right now? That
Oh
every
man,
time I watch my videos.
yeah, if I now I'm gonna add you to like my level of videos to watch for motivation. I have like YouTube playlists that I put it, and it's like, hey, I want to watch wholesome videos, so I add it here. I want to watch funny cat videos, I'll add it here. I have a motivation channel now. I'm gonna add you to your channel to that level. Stuff like that.
Yeah, for me, I try to create something that I will consistently keep posting. So I thought about drawing blues clues. I can draw many clues, different variety of clues in my channel, and keep growing.
It's endless, yeah.
Also, with my food channel, there's so many foods I can try, not just American food, but I also did. I did a trying British snacks for the first time,
Ooh.
and that was something
Mm.
I enjoyed. All those foods were shipped from Great Britain in the UK, over in the UK, and I was recording myself showing my reactions and my review of how great British food tastes like compared to American food. I'm also planning on trying other foods from India, China, and South Africa.
Nice. Yeah, we look forward to those videos too. Yeah. No, yeah. Honestly, so I was after making these videos, and I know like Rose has a few guests, and like we try to time our guests and stuff.
So
I've been talking.
creative. I love that.
I've been talking to some people, and I'm like, like I would. It's like your level of, hey, I want to try different foods. For I think Rose and I, it's like we want to have different guests on our podcast. So like I think last week I had my neighbor was a guest actually, and he's a good guy, and like he recently became more active in our community, like in my town, and he started like his own little like side thing. Like he makes shirts and stuff like that, and like clothing lines and stuff. So I'm actually gonna talk to him about doing some motivation station branding, like some stuff that we can make, like
Merch.
sweatshirts and stuff. Yeah, merch. But I was like, hey man, like I would love to have you on our podcast. He's like, I'm a little bit like kind of shy right now, and I'm like, no big deal, like whenever you're ready. But it'd be nice, like the more I talk to all these people I meet, either in people I know like from like a long time ago, or even like people I talk to on a daily basis, I'm like, if you come on our podcast, I think it'd be pretty fun. And not because like so much that like to add content per se to our podcast, but just to have them on there and have someone to talk to, I think it'd just be, like fun. Just like your idea of like, hey, I want to try to, I tried food from Great Britain. Let's try other food. Let's try food from India and stuff like that. But
Hearing successful stories,
it,
stories of
it
others.
yeah, and it opens a lot of doors, opens a lot of avenues, and like it gives us more fun and more stuff to look forward to, you know? Like I know like your videos I see now, like besides doing more like, food and stuff like that, do you have like is there anything like you haven't done that you like you've been wanting to try? Is there anything you have you haven't done yet but
Any
you're thinking
plans?
about it?
Yeah, future.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to try new foods. I also like to travel too. Go to I did a traveling blog to Los Angeles, California back in 2023, and recently I went to San Jose, California. I got to meet I went to San Jose, California, and hopefully I want to travel to London, out of the country, do my first international video vlog, and obviously the most interesting thing about going to London is trying their food, the fish and chips. I've been a huge
Mm.
fan of fish and chips, and seeing how it compares to the food that fish and chips that I tried in the America, and also get engaged with people too,
Mm.
Their culture in Britain, how they
Yeah,
speak, their accent.
yeah. Yeah,
I love
Yeah.
it.
honestly, one of the biggest things, and this was something I was gonna do off camera, because I've always been fascinated on meeting people, because all of us have like a different, like all of us want to be happy, right? All of us want to find a path to be happy and successful and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to just meet people, right? So off camera, one thing I want to do, which I'm waiting for the weather to get a little bit better and stuff like that, but I've always wanted to just like I was gonna use Reddit as my path there, but I was gonna always offer just like, hey, I want to have dinner with somebody, right? I don't care, guy, girl, whoever. I don't. Doesn't make a difference to me, right? But I want to meet them for dinner and just talk about them, like talk to them about themselves and be like, hey, what do you like? What's your life like, and like, what do you want to get out of life? And I don't know if there's so much I can offer as far as like maybe guidance and stuff like that at best, but like I just want to get to know people. I want to get to know what drives them, what makes them happy, what gets them up in the morning, what kind of motivates them, right? Which Motivation Station is doing a great job from us doing our podcast here, but I definitely want it to be like a more like a casual like dinner, just meet up, have conversations, people who don't want to be on camera per se. And I've always been fascinated about meeting people, and I love to get to talk to people,
Wear a
but
mask.
I haven't always been that way, like I was always introverted. I never talked to anybody. I always had my head like, if when I'm walking, I'm just like looking down and stuff like that. I was always self-conscious about about like my physical being and all that, right? But then after a while, I didn't care what people thought in a negative light. I was like, the people who got to know me and stayed in my life love me, and like they appreciate the time they have with me. The people who look at me and kind of judge me and they're like, I don't know about them, fine, whatever, that's fine, that's your agenda. I don't really care anymore. But like it really changed perspectives for me on how to look at life, and it started to make me open up. And I think, and I think I told Rose, there's some people who have watched our podcast and they've opened up a little bit more about themselves, and they're like, I want to try this, I want to try that. And I'm like, you know the first step is always the hardest to change, stuff in your life. But I was like, if you ever need a talk, a motivation and stuff like that, like, we're here for you. Rose is here for you, I'm here for you. We can message us on the side. We have people like you that exist, that I'm sure, you're like yourself, you like to get to know people, and you want to learn or see different cultures and stuff like that. And I feel like you're going to become like an international star. And then once you become to that point where you're traveling and doing your video logs in Great Britain, you're doing your video logs in South Africa, getting to 100K is going to be nothing. You're going to be at 100K before you even know it, you know what I mean? Because right now, like,
No time
you're
soon.
doing all this from where you live now. You made 2.2K videos and at 10K 10.7K subscribers. Dude, that's substantial. That's amazing, you know. And right now I know you're gonna open up more doors, you're gonna open more avenues, you're gonna try new things, right? And you're gonna grow even further. But it's not because it's like, oh, like, it's like, when you open up more doors you have more light in the house. It's not that per se, but it's the fact that you're opening up those doors. It's the fact that you're doing these avenues. People are not following you because it's your channel called Jon Kim Vlogs. They're following John because it's John. They appreciate the stuff that you do, whether it's Blues Clues, food reviews, meeting people, stuff like that. Like, people
That's the
are
music that comes out.
It's like, you're like, it's kind of like what Rose and I are trying to grow with our podcast here, is that like, like, we have a name, yes, we have a branding, but like, it's us that's being exemplified to the world. It's us that's shining and trying to help bring that shining onto others.
Yeah, for sure. You just got to, for people, people are, like you said, they're timid, they're a bit shy. But once they start taking slow steps, gradual slow steps, they start thinking, oh, this isn't too bad. Like I was in the same boat too. If you didn't know, I was a bit timid, but then grew. I came out of my shell, and I eventually grew to a point where I was able to be successful YouTuber and also get improve my communication skills.
Of course, yeah, no, absolutely, and yeah, I honestly, if you hadn't even said anything about like, like, you say you weren't, you said you weren't too great with speech and getting used to it. Had you not said that and I brought you onto our podcast and we're talking now, I would have never guessed, man. I would have never been like, really, like, you can't really, you're shy, you're camera shy, you can't talk on camera. Like, I would have never known. Um, but like, I think the beauty is like, not only like your success is growing with like, your success is growing great, right? But I think more importantly, you're growing more, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
you growing as a person is more important, right? But the success is just following that. And I think when Rose and I were first talking about our podcast, like, we like, I mean, she was big on it. She was like, I want this to be huge and successful. And I was like, yeah, me too. But I don't want it to be all about success. Like, success is absolutely important, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I want it, like, I was doing it because I was like, I want to grow as a person too. And I think back then Rose was more on the successful side, but it's like, she's growing as a person too. Like, I see her in these podcasts. I watch my previous podcast, and I watch even like how I look or how she looks, right? Besides the fact that we look, but like, I see her growing as a person in our podcast, with especially like the last few guests we had, like, just like, off the bat. Like, I had like my brother-in-law on my last podcast, who's a pastor. Not on my last one, my two podcasts ago. And in my last podcast, I had one of my friends on there who was like, big on mental health. And these subjects, like, I was watching Rose like listen intently on the conversations that were happening, because like, she felt in tune with what was happening. And before you knew it, it wasn't so much about, oh, how many views did our last podcast have, how many people watched live, stuff like that. It was just like, me and her talk, we're like, dude, that was just a fantastic podcast you know and then before we knew it, we had 700 views. And I like, from like now we're hitting a point that we're like, oh, we want to have this many views by this time, or this many subscribers by this time. But like, we're not worried about it anymore, because we feel like we make good quality content now, and we're getting better with it, we're getting comfortable with it, 1% at a time, Rose. But like, I think we're getting a lot better, and we feel a lot more comfortable. you know our conversations, I think, are smooth. Like, I remember, Rose, our when we first talked about this podcast, we were like, we don't even know if we could hit an hour. We're like, it might be anywhere between a half hour to an hour. Like, we were worried about making the time schedule. Now we
That was
comfortably go over an hour. We're like, dude, when do we stop? Like, we need to call it, because people have lives and schedules and stuff like that. But like, it's been nice. And even, I think I was telling you, John, like, yeah, normally when we talk, we talk to whatever we can, till we can talk until. But we've been comfortably talking for like 45 minutes without any problems. you know so it's nice in that sense. I appreciate the ideas that you've presented to us today, because I will definitely take that to heart and improve our, like, just like the little things, because they do make a difference. uh, I mean, honestly, I,
yeah.
I can see you reaching your goal with no problem at all. I mean, obviously, we would love to. We're gonna stay in touch.
We're gonna get you back with a button in your
Yeah,
hand.
no, I think the next time we have you, we just gotta see that button. I'm like, hey, John, what's up? And that's all.
Let's draw
That's
a
the thumbnail.
button.
That's the thumbnail.
Let's draw a button.
That's gonna be the
Yeah,
thumbnail of the episode.
yeah.
It's gonna be
This is
me,
the
you.
button. This is the
Yep,
button.
exactly. But
Or do this.
like, yeah, how
That's
did I do it?
amazing,
How did I
John.
do it? Yeah,
If you guys
it's
want to start a podcast and YouTube channel, it's
John's
the
your man.
best time to start it now.
John's your man. If
And
you have any questions, yeah.
I think John gave us a key secret what to do, and
Hmm.
that anyone can do it.
Yeah,
anyone.
Rose, I believe in you too. You can definitely grow your channel. And I heard, like you said, what do you like to post? What do you like to post, Rose? Like on your channel? What are your
I like
interests? I could help you.
motivation.
Okay, motivation. I know also fashion is really popular too.
Fashion.
You can get a lot of views and likes and subscribers. A lot of people, you can gain a lot on that. Makeup tutorials are good. I'm just giving you some examples.
Thank you. Mhm.
Also, show like review of your clothing, your shoes, or anything accessories would be useful and help
Mm.
beneficial.
Mm.
And also create, like I said, create a creative thumbnail too using Canva, Rose. And then for you, Sanjay, I
Okay.
thought, for you like to do video games, play video games. Yeah, you should definitely keep engaged, keep
Mm.
posting consistently. You can also create another channel about your like Sanjay vlogs. I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then show your day of life. What do you like to do? You could also do traveling vlogs too as well, and then create a thumbnail, a creative thumbnail. Those are just some examples I'll list. It can also be like what you do at work, like your overall experience, just a day. That's all.
Yeah, like the possibilities are endless, and I
That's
appreciate that.
amazing. Like
Yeah,
you can right away tell what. It's amazing.
yeah. No, I mean, like John, you just have this like I said, go getter attitude, and it's true. You like we definitely especially with what we have now and like the way we're able to use technology and or anything for that matter, like it's just a matter of like, hey, you want to do it, do it. You know, I
Hmm.
agree. I think I do want to kind of get back into gaming, but like I'm not just being ambitious about it, but I want to be like, I'm not gonna stream every day, but like maybe I'll do like a few nights every week, have a few nights to stream. Have a schedule for that. I am thinking about doing a video log that I'm hoping to start in February for like one of my cars because I've had that car for like since 2008 and I've been trying to rebuild it and stuff. So I think people would be interested in watching the build and like the story behind that car.
Yeah.
So I that definitely
Like my
like I said,
script garage. Mhm.
the little things, even like thumbnails. I mean, honestly, that's what catches my attention on like when I watch YouTube videos. If I see a thumbnail and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, And I know it's not that hard, and I know maybe a little time consuming. And when I say a little, it probably only take me a few minutes to even do, especially with tools like Canva. It's a free tool. You can log in, you can just make an image, and it takes seconds to do. I've used Canva for other stuff, but not like my own like kind of like vlog in that sense there. But no, I agree with you like that. It's just a matter of like doing it. And then the beautiful part, and I think going forward is even more beautiful, is like if Rose and I have questions, we know we can hit you up without any concerns or problems. Of like, yo, John, do you have an idea for this? Can you help me with this? And you will. Like, if you have the time, like I'm sure you'll be like, yeah, I'll help you out with this. And I have like your YouTube channel on our description. And I'm sure some people may want to like reach out or whatever there too. But do you mind if I maybe add your Facebook? Do you want me to add your Facebook to our description so if people want to add you on Facebook or something? Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
there's some people on chat. I've been watching the chat and it's been blowing up, but it's kind of like people are talking to each other, so I haven't really been saying much. But I'll do a quick
Chad, thank you
shout out.
so much, everyone. Morgan
But
said her dad lives in Liverpool, England. Hello.
yeah, we got
Yes.
Gina, we got Frank here, we got
We see
Morgan,
Gina saying she's
Teresa.
gonna binge watch all the videos. Go ahead. I
Uh,
know Teresa's here from Arizona, Morgan from Texas, guys. Thank you. I hope you guys having a very motivated day.
yeah,
John, I
no,
want to
thank you for
thank you
coming.
for being here. Thank you for all of your
Hmm.
ideas. I appreciate your time. I know you're a very busy girl, boy, girls and
Yeah.
boys, everything. I'm so like in the space head right now with everything that's happening. This is so motivational. And John, I just want
Yes.
to thank you for being here for the first time. Didn't work out, but you fail until you succeed, and we succeeded this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, Sanjay and Rose. It was great having you. Do you feel motivated now?
Oh man,
Yes,
listen. The
John.
second this
We
episode
ready to do
finishes,
the thumbs up
All
I'm
right.
and the thumbnail.
working. I'm working on the thumbnails, and then we're gonna go from there.
I don't even know what thumbnail yet, but I'm gonna work on it too.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Definitely. Face
we
Already.
expression.
listen. Like I'm gonna say this right now, right? So I mean, I know you're gonna succeed. I know you're gonna hit that 100K mark even within the year, right? But
Hmm.
what I want to do is this. Definitely, I think for I'm gonna set a timeline, like not for your success, not no nothing like that. But I want to see where we're gonna be at in 6 months from now for all of us, right?
Hmm.
For Rose, for myself, and you. 6 months from now, what it's January is June or July? I'm bad with
July.
it's July, right? So July, 6 months from now, I'll set a date, right? And you're gonna be our
Hmm.
guest on that date there, right? And I want to
Yep.
see where we're all at. I'm not saying like yeah, you'll be at like if you're at 100K, beautiful. I'm looking forward to seeing that the silver play button, right? But I just want to see where we're all
Ripple
at,
effect
and
now.
I know we're gonna be beyond where we're at now, right? But I want us to hold this motivation. I want this to be a goal within us three to see where we're gonna be at. So 6 months from now, we're gonna do another episode with John, right? Chat like viewers, you're gonna see us and all that. And 6 months from now, we're gonna see where we're all at. All right. Um, and like I said, John, honestly, man, I am super happy to have had you on our episode, and we look forward to your success. We look forward to your videos. I think half of our chat, or even all of our chat, is gonna subscribe to your
Oh,
channel right now. At those few numbers, we're gonna watch your videos. And you've not only helped motivate our chat, you've motivated us to be more successful, and we appreciate your help. And we look forward to catching you again in the near future. And I'll definitely talk to you on the side, maybe on like Facebook and stuff about more ideas
Hmm.
about videos and stuff like that. But honestly, man, thank you for being a part of our podcast today. Cheers to you. Uh, this is
Yes.
cheers.
cheers.
I don't have my cup,
You're
unfortunately.
good. You're all set. Cheers to you.
Pretend
But
like I have a
John,
cup.
there you go. You know what?
Exactly.
I'll just add it in. It's fine. When I edit the video, I'll just put a little cup in there, and that's it. No, but no. Thank you again for being part of our podcast today, and we'll catch you soon. All right, buddy.
All right. See you
All
later,
right.
Sanjay and Rose.
Take care.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Oh man, that dude.
Yeah, I think my phone is dying, so I need to like. Ooh.
Yeah, no, no, you know what, man? Like a lot that I took away from that is the it's what we talked about before, right? It's consistency, right? And the thing is, what I came from this podcast is that there is a level of consistency of doing the work, right? But it's also the process of the work, right? So one thing I've come to learn that like I know at the beginning of this episode we were all ready maybe like 15 minutes before, but I should be even more ready before that, right? So like as we were ready, I still had to set up a few things, and I was like, nah, I shouldn't have to do this. I should be ready for all this, right?
I'm
And
glad that you're reflecting on it.
yeah, like, but the thing is, like, that doesn't just go for me; it goes for both of us. Like we have to be ready comfortably before our podcast is ready to go. Because there were times that we were shooting it to the last minute. We'd be like 10:57, like, hey, I just joined.
I
I
mean,
can't
I'm
do
a
it.
girl. I gotta.
I know, but like the thing is, the idea behind success. No, but the idea behind success is that like it's not just consistency of hey we do a podcast from 11 to whatever time we do it. It's no, it's from 10 o'clock we're ready to do the podcast, we do the podcast and go from there, you know. And like even though I think we talked about that and we grew on that idea too, is like when we first talked about doing the podcast we're like, oh, it's just an hour out of the week, but it shouldn't be thought of that way. We should think about more stuff we can do to contribute to the podcast, you know. So even like you putting a background for like your bed, so then like
How's my
I
leather?
it's good.
Can you walk on it?
Dude, I thought that was a real ladder. I swear to God. But anyway, but like, like you putting that there, like even that, if you think about it, that's
How's
still
this thing's
something's
hanging?
tight. What?
I'm
Oh,
trying
is
to
that
be
a
a
wreath?
Bluetooth.
Oh,
Yeah,
I noticed that
I
was there. I
didn't
didn't
have
know what
that
it was.
before. Now I can change that to every holiday and put whatever I want on it. So I got the little hanging thing,
Mm.
so I can a hook. You know,
Listen, and I think, like I said, you dressed for the
it
part today.
works.
You dressed for the part today. I love the glasses and all that stuff. So,
Thank you.
but
I'm trying to be my own sunshine, as you said earlier.
yeah,
If I don't be my own sunshine, I cannot be a sunshine for my mother.
yeah. Listen, like I said, that energy brings a greater level of energy, and more than anything, just like I was telling John, and like I tell myself, Like you do it, right? But you do it mainly for yourself. And then like what comes out of you is what spews to others. Spews is a very like rough word to use because sounds very ugly, but like what you give out, it comes from within, you know, and like you doing everything you're trying to do, you trying to uh, not just succeed in this podcast, but your own work, and the stuff you're trying to do for your mother and with your mother, right? You're doing it more for you than anybody. Just like motivation station is great, and it's great that it connects us to other people and all that, but I do it more for me than anybody. And then with like these people that we bring on, just such fantastic like guests that we have in our audience, that I love the fact that, and I apologize because normally I read the chats, but the chat was more directed towards each other, which is great. Like Frank was talking to Morgan and Gina and Teresa, and everybody was just talking within there. There's some comments that I didn't get a chance to say, but I know like Morgan's gonna reach out to Jon now. She's gonna follow him on YouTube, and she's probably gonna hit him up on Facebook and stuff like that. And like I like the fact that people can talk like that, and even though like I didn't fully address it, like I am watching the chat, but they are enjoying company, each other's company, like they've become good friends because of that. But like I agree that with the way that we do certain things, we could definitely like make micro improvements, right? So like a better thumbnail and stuff like that instead of doing like a plain one. um I think for our podcast, I might keep it the plain one, because our podcast is more on our Spotify, because our Spotify is more audio than anything, so people can
I
just
am super
go ahead.
excited for this platform. I'm
Yes.
congratulating both of us to get in on Spotify.
Yeah.
Everyone who is on Spotify, you can follow us on Spotify and you can listen us any time of the day, evening, whenever you feel like you need motivation, because we are the station for motivation.
Absolutely. And like I said, I do it more for myself, but I you can't not be motivated from like people like the
Yeah.
guest we had is John today, especially. Like you can't just I his attitude is just such a beautiful. I can't
I
even.
love it. It's so easygoing. He's like, oh, boom,
It's kind of like
boom, boom.
I kind of wish I had the attitude in the sense that like I kind of like compare it to like Captain America, so in one of the movies, I forgot which movie, I think it might have been like Endgame or something, right? But it was kind of like if whoever's a Marvel fan, whoever watched the movies, Captain America at one point was just like, look, we got to do it and we got to succeed, and that's it. Oh, Rose, you dropped off. Hopefully you'll come back, so I better open up this window and just be ready for you. um but anyway, to our viewers, so in Marvel, Captain America was like, yo, we got to make this happen, we got to make this work, right? And he didn't even think about what would happen if it didn't. Like he never even thought about like what would happen if it didn't work out, and he just didn't think about what wouldn't happen if it didn't work. It was always about just doing it. And I feel like John had that kind of like mentality, and it was such a refreshing thing. And like I definitely want to kind of bank off of that and succeed off of that more. I don't know if Rose's phone just died. It could be very possible, because I think she's saying that she said something was low or low battery or something there. But honestly, like first of all, like you guys who showed up in the chat and you've been blowing up, I apologize for not like really addressing you. I know, Morgan, you wanted me to ask John something, and I just kind of saw it, but with the way the conversation was going, like I couldn't catch what was being said, and then like add it to the conversation real quick. But I will definitely add John's information. I added his YouTube channel already. I'll add his Facebook, since he said like it's okay to do it. So I'll definitely I want to find him on Facebook. I'll add his link here, and I'm actually gonna add our link from our Spotify page. So unfortunately on Spotify, I haven't figured out how to go live on Spotify. So for those people who can't tune in on YouTube and like watch us live, you can always watch us on Spotify afterward. Not necessarily that you need video, you can just have this audio and it should just be just fine as well. But we're very happy about expanding our platform there, and you can catch us there, follow us there, but everything kind of links back to our YouTube anyway. And again, thank you guys for joining us today. Look forward to our next podcast next week, and we'll have better. I mean, I'm still. I'm still blown away with John, and like the ideas I'm growing in my mind, and I think I'm even more motivated to do it. And besides having John as a guest, unfortunately, I don't know if Rose is coming back per se, but even like Rose, I am honestly thankful for like all of you. Like it helps me a lot. I've had some very tough times, dark times, and doing this podcast has helped me more than anything. And I appreciate like shout out to my friends that I don't know if they even watch my podcast, but thank you for keeping me level. Thank you for making the time and checking up on me and hanging out with me, whether it's like chatting or going out to drink or whatever we do. I do appreciate all the time and effort that you guys give back to me, and I hope I can do that in return over time. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much time. I know we've been almost killing like 2 hours in our podcast. Yeah, Rose, like Rose, your phone died. No biggie, that happens. But I'm glad we got through the podcast before that happened. And thank you again for being part of the podcast. Thank you, viewers, for being here. Tune in next week for our next show. And cheers to you guys. Shout out to Pumpkin. Rest in peace. And that's why I have the mug with the cats today to represent properly. But again, thank you guys, and definitely have a motivated day, and we'll see you soon. Take care.